When we look at a fungible token, this in the realm of blockchain or cryptocurrency, this is basically a token that also has all the features of blockchain, but it is not like a Bitcoin or an Ethereum. Like, it has the value. It's something I just made up.
Hi, Sly.
Yes, Sly. Good evening.
Hey, what's up, guys?
No, what's up, bro?
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Recently, okay, yung NFT, it's one of the hottest topic in the space. But we're also seeing something that you're posting in social media. Pero siguro later, we're gonna be talking about it. But for those of you watching right now, for the viewers, siguro for the first question, can you please explain, what is NFT in simple terms?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, what is an NFT? NFT stands for non-fungible token. Okay. In other words, it's a unique digital asset. So an NFT, if you break it down in terms of non-fungible token, if we look at token, if you look at the word token itself, technically it's basically a medium of exchange. Okay. With that being said, then you have the fungible part, which means basically it's interchangeable. The non-fungible part just means that it's unique. It's a tradable asset type of intermediary thing. Now, a non-fungible token basically carries all the features of blockchain, such as your immutability, the ownership, fast settlement, so on and so forth. These are the key features of blockchain. However, there's a key emphasis on two things. However, this is my opinion. Its key emphasis is ownership and fast settlement. So ownership meaning because you create this NFT, meaning you are the author of this NFT, that's the ownership aspect. And then there's the fast settlement, meaning, let's say someone wants to buy this NFT from you in this NFT marketplace. The settlement is done through the native token. Okay, depending on which NFT marketplace you go to, that token, whether it be Wax token, EOS, or Ethereum, that native token is what is being used to pay for that NFT. So the fast settlement aspect. Now, NFT is basically a representation, a virtual representation of any asset. Okay, right now everyone sees it as maybe artwork or mostly artwork at this point of time. The other part about NFTs, and hopefully we'll get to discuss this a bit more, is that NFTs, in terms of its value, is very subjective. What I see this NFT, let's say for example someone creates an NFT. I may look at this NFT and say, hey, I really want to buy this, versus someone else, they say, I don't see the value in it. So the value of an NFT, or where the value comes from, is actually more subjective, really. NFTs also can be asset backed. They don't just have to be a picture. They can be there can be an asset, an underlying asset behind them. Okay, and last but not least, the one great thing about NFTs, and I've been doing this all week, is the fact that it is programmable. Okay, so by programming, meaning you can put a lot of features in it. It doesn't have to be words, text, or numbers. It can actually be a whole bunch of other things that you want to incorporate with the NFT.
On the other hand, okay, if there's an NFT, in fact, I'm also hearing this other, it's the other part of NFT called the fungible token. So can you please share, maybe differentiate, ano ba yung pinagkaiba nitong dalawang to? Fungible token versus non-fungible token, right?
So, as mentioned before, non-fungible tokens are unique, so there can be one of a kind. A fungible token is basically, and I'll try to simplify this as best as possible. When we look at a fungible token, this, in the realm of blockchain or cryptocurrency, this is basically a token that also has all the features of blockchain, but it is not like a Bitcoin or an Ethereum. Like, it has the value. It's something I just made up, but there's going to be one of many Okay, so for example, someone out there, like probably you can create what is known as the Museigen token, and that token is created through a smart contract on the blockchain. So the difference is NFTs represent a uniqueness, meaning there's only one of a kind. A fungible token is still unique, but you can have many of it. In this case, it's usually in the form of, let's say, a token that you can create.
I was actually asked, actually about to ask Sly about the difference if it's correct that based on how I understand it, yung fungible token is like a general token. Well, it can be unique, but it's not necessarily one of a kind. Yun yung sinasabi mo. Wherein with NFT, it's like it's either like a backed by a one of a kind value, for example an artwork, something like that. So, sabihin natin, like for example a token that will represent this particular artwork. That's how non-fungible is. Now I get that, but for the benefit of our viewers right now tonight, I would like to ask further about yung sa fungible token side. Meaning, even if it's unique, what will be the difference between the two in terms of the exchange, yung palitan? How do you exchange a fungible token with a non-fungible token?
Okay, so to exchange a non-fungible token with a fungible token, it depends on the smart contract. Certain smart contracts will actually allow you to, let's say, for example, if I created I created, like, let's say 1,000 fungible tokens of, let's say, Museigen coin, yeah. But in order to get like this NFT over there, they won't accept Ethereum, but they'll accept Museigen coin. So it depends on the programming of the smart contract for it to be allowed to do so. Okay, but hopefully that answers your question. It's really more on how the smart contract is programmed to handle that sort of transaction or settlement.
Is it easy to create, an NFT?
In all honesty, there is a slight learning curve, but it's not that difficult. It's I wouldn't say it's easy, but once you go through the first process of making an NFT, everything just becomes simple after that. So it's not that difficult. The great thing about NFTs, depending on which marketplace you go to or NFT marketplace you go to, it's very self-explanatory in a sense. But that first NFT you will create, you might have a hard time understanding the, let's say, how to do it at first. What does this represent? But after that, it gets easy. So easy, yes, but slight learning curve on your first when you do your first NFT.
It means at first there could be like some sort of technicalities, right? But eventually, as long as you understand this basic thing, then eventually you can create multiple NFTs in the future, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. To explain just a little bit more, for example, let's say if you go to Atomic Assets, when you create your NFT token there, mind you, you're going to be a beginner when you do this. It's like, oh, okay, so in order to create an NFT, I need the native token wax. And then when I go to the website, it's like, okay, I see what's going on here, but what about the NFT creation part? There's a lot of things being displayed at me. It says name. Okay, then to the right of it, it's more like, what do you want to call this field? Text, image, integer. So that's what I mean by a learning curve. There's some programming aspect to it, but when you get used to it, it's not that difficult. You understand that, okay, for the name of this NFT token, it's going to be a text. If I'm going to give it a serial number, I'm going to give it an integer property. So there's that programming aspect. That's why I say there's a slight learning curve. But once you get done with that part, it's quite easy.
Sly, having said that, is it correct way to position your statement like it can be simple, but it's not that easy?
Yeah, something like that. You can say it like that.
It can be simple, but it's not that easy because basically not everyone is knowledgeable how to do coding, for example.
Correct,
So
yes.
that's where the learning curve will come in. But once you get over that hurdle, doing it is actually simple. That's what you're trying to say.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, follow-up question. Out of curiosity, why there's a lot of people, creating their own NFTs? Why it's started to become like a hot topic in the space right now? Then eventually people have started to create their own NFTs.
I think a majority of the factors is because everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon, meaning they want to follow the hype. Maybe they see that if I create my own NFT, someone out there is going to buy it. However, in, again, my opinion only, everyone keeps forgetting the subjective value of what the NFT offers. Okay, so maybe it's just hype. Maybe it's because it depends, because maybe the author of the NFT is very creative. Maybe their designs, people might like it and people might buy it. So it really depends, to be honest.